Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of All the Mods 6. How are you guys doing today? How's life? In the comment section of the previous video, someone left me a very interesting comment. You should look into the Morgan sword. I think it goes with your playstyle. I have no idea what you mean by my playstyle, but I'm a peace-loving person and I love the Republic and democracy. But since I love democracy, I'm going to respect your opinion. Good. And what that basically means is that we're going to get into a mod called Mahou Tsukai. Konnichiwa. Mahou Tsukai is a magic mod and it involves blood. So technically, you need to bleed. You can outsource the bleeding to a zombie, as you can see over here. Or because of social distancing, you can use a dagger and do it yourself, which actually gives you a longer effect. When you are bleeding, you have the special ability to draw a blood circle and that will help you making spells. And you will draw this circle using a keybind, and you can just remove it. In order to make different types of spells, we are going to require different types of powders, and the way that we get them is that we just put the material that we want together with a mortar and pestle in a crafting grid, and we get the powder. There's actually not that many resources that we need, so I think this is enough for the rest of the episode. Another very important thing in this mod is mana, and you might notice that I do have a number on the top left hand corner of the screen, which is 912, and that is the amount of mana that I have, which I can deposit it in an attuned diamond or an attuned emerald, which attuned diamond is much better. It holds double the mana, and the more that you consume mana, the more mana you will have. Now we're at 932, and you might notice that I have been doing this for a while. Since this mod is going to require a lot of mana, what options do we have? There is a spell called Durability Exchange. When placed on the floor, this circle will convert the durability of the items on top of it into mana. Alternatively, it can do so from a chest underneath it as well. It can restore a maximum of 10 mana per second. And what that basically means is that if we stab ourselves, draw the circle, add 2 emerald and 1 diamond, and put an item on top, it should consume the durability and give us mana. You see, we have consumed a little bit of durability on the axe. But the system that we just saw is not the best because you have to do this manually. If we want to use a chest, we need to do the same thing. We need to bleed, draw the circle, emerald, emerald, diamond, and then we just break the blocks and put a chest underneath. And now if I put a tool inside the chest and consume a little bit of mana, it should consume durability and give me more mana. Yes, the durability is decreasing. Of course, you might notice that my mana is recharging at a much faster rate than 10. The thing is, I already have 3 more chests over here. So I'm guessing you can stack them up as much as you want. Now that we have a general idea on how the mod works and how to get mana, let us focus on the main issue at hand, which is getting the Morgan sword. It's not a very complicated process. We first need to get a sword called Caliburn. For getting the Caliburn, we need to perform a very small ritual. We can of course do it over here and just call it a day, but the thing is, the mod author has spent a lot of time making this mod look very cool, and I thought it's very disrespectful if we just do it in the open and call it a day. So we're going to have a small area for Mahou Tsukai. This is going to be the entrance to the Cave of Suffering. Sorry, I meant freedom. And the cave itself is just behind the blast door, over here. The ritual that we have to perform is called Power Consolidation, and it requires 2 diamonds and 1 emerald. Therefore, as usual, I'm going to stab myself, place the circle, emerald, diamond, and diamond. Oh, you are activated. Okay, that is nice. It's a really cool effect. How big are you going to get? Okay, I'm guessing that big. Nice. And the best part is you will get this cool fog effect. I love this. The way that power consolidation works is that we have to drop a sword and exchange it for Caliburn. I do not think it makes any difference which type of sword we use, but we're gonna use netherite. The only catch is that the sword has to be enchanted. And we just drop you in, you should consume mana, and we have to find the sword. Oh, it's here. Nice. We have it. Caliburn is a holy sword. It will do 8 damage, which is not much, but it can be upgraded. The way that we upgrade the Caliburn is that we have to drop it inside the pond several times so that it will do more and more damage. But every time that we throw it, it will consume 5000 mana. But Caliburn is not the sword that we want Morgan. And the way that we get Morgan is by killing our best friend, and we can upgrade it by killing the innocent. We live in a taiga biome, so finding a loyal friend should not be an issue. You're my friend? Thank you. You shall be missed. Yes, Morgan. We have you. The first thing that we need to do is that we want to transfer all the enchantments that we have from our current sword to the Morgan. I had no idea we have so many enchantments. Every time that we add an enchantment to our sword, it's going to require 35 experience. So we need quite a bit. Very good. Now we have a decent sword. We just need to find the innocent. Every time that we kill a villager, it's going to consume a little bit of mana and it's going to increase our damage by 0.2. And if we find a child villager, it will increase it by 1. At this very moment, we're doing 13.5 hearts of damage. And now we're doing 13.7. Very good. Of course, I'm not exactly sure how much mana it's going to consume every single time, but we are generating a decent amount of mana, so upgrading the sword should not be an issue. We have the sword and now we need to upgrade it. Going from village to village and finding villagers is not a very efficient process, so I was thinking that we make a spawner room like the one that we have in the nether base for villagers over here. If I remember correctly, the radius of a spawner is almost a 9 by 9. So this should be okay, right? We just dig up from here. Oops. That's not very good. So I tried to fix it, but I don't think from the top it's going to look that nice. It's okay, we will fix that later on. For now, let's think of the spawner. I'm going to put the spawner up there, and we need to funnel all the villagers into a central killing chamber. So I'm going to use vector plates and cover the entire spawning room. So they should all fall down here. One thing that I'm not exactly sure is that are we going to also get children or not? So for the moment, I'm just going to put half slabs over here so that the adults cannot get out, but if we get children, we'll figure something out. I have brought a spawner and a villager egg. So we should get villagers. And I kind of forgot that we also need to give it an aldemodium ingot so that it will ignore spawn conditions. Why are you fighting it? I have noticed a problem. Some of them are getting stuck. Actually, this is getting slightly irritating. Do we have a comparator? If we add a comparator to the spawner, we can control it using redstone. And for the moment, it's just a lever. And I need to get rid of these guys. So many eggs! Okay, I have increased the size by one more block, I added more vector plates, and now we should be fine. Yes, we're not wasting villagers. Good. One more thing that we should add is lights, because we just want villagers to spawn and not other mobs. This place is incredibly dark. And the final trick that we have to do is that we need to control the spawner that we have up there with redstone. So I do have a redstone transmitter over here, we're going to link a receiver to it, and then if I put a lever, we should be able to do it. Please face the correct way. Please. Thank you. So will you give me villagers? That is the question. No? Oh yes, you do. The spawner is not fully upgraded, this is why it takes time. And we just get adults. We haven't started yet and our sword is already doing almost 63 damage. 64.1. I have been working on the cave for quite a while and unfortunately it is going to require a lot more details in order to make it look nice, but I think for today we're going to call it a day because I have placed so many blocks and in any case our cave is functional. And while I was working here, I did manage to upgrade our sword to do 235 damage. Anyhow, we also have some tourist attractions over here, which unfortunately it's very dark and you might not be able to see it, so where is my night vision? So just in case I'm bored of killing villagers manually, I can just watch them die. Over and over again. And over here we also have two very cute little rats, which are getting rid of the villagers. Automatically. It doesn't serve any purpose to upgrade the sword, but it will improve our mood. There is one more item that I want to add to our cave. Hello Spooky. And I think we're going to do this together, and that item is from Botania. There you go. Here it is. So this item on its own is not going to do anything, but if you manage to find a mob, for instance a zombie, and right click on him, then it's going to make zombie noises. Obviously I'm not interested in a zombie, I'm interested in a ghost. Yes, this sounds nice. I want to have a little bit of a sound effect whenever we're inside the cave. So what we're going to do is that we're going to have a timer from RF Tools, and I think we set it to 500 ticks. That's 25 seconds. One piece of redstone, a note block, and then we add the sound. Any second. Yeah, the pulse is too short, because with a redstone torch it works. Can I use a repeater? Maybe? Yes. Very good. And we just cover you. It has been quite a while later, and as you might have noticed, I've been busy at work. Our sword almost does 600 damage. Yes, now it does 600 damage. I've been looking at the statistics and it seems that we have killed almost 3000 villagers. And since we are getting a lot of spawn eggs, I was thinking that maybe we have a few hoppers with an ender chest so that we keep the eggs. Cause to be honest with you, we can get children with spawn eggs, so they're 5 times more efficient. Actually, I'm not exactly sure if the trick still works. I do remember that if you spawned an animal and then right clicked on him with another spawn egg, you would get a baby? Yes, give me a lot of babies. you should probably close your eyes. Every child gave us 1+ damage, and now we're doing 709. Nice. I have upgraded our sword to do 1000 damage. So the question is, can we one-shot the Wither? I highly doubt that. I don't really trust numbers in this mod pack. Oh yeah, okay, that worked. Well, let's try this one more time. Yes, it does work. Okay. Are we going to have the same result with the Guardian of Gaia or not? What I'm basically thinking is that this is like the Nihilite sword and it only works on vanilla mobs. So, I'm not sure. Yeah, exactly. It's not 1000 damage. Yeah, you can summon every creature that you want. I'm not having this fight. I don't think that our test with the Guardian of Gaia was valid, because if I remember correctly, there used to be a code in Botania that you cannot deal more than a certain amount of damage to the Guardian of Gaia. So my sword does 1000 damage, but Botania only calculates like 50 of it. And I do admit that the second time that I hit the Guardian of Gaia, it did a tremendous amount of damage and took 30% of his life, but I think that was because of Warpole, and that probably calculates damage differently. Oh, and by the way, Sword of the Cosmos does not count, because that runs the kill command, so it's not damage. Therefore, we're going to summon a Ratlantian Automaton and see how much damage we'll deal to him. It's not from vanilla, so it should work. It worked. Now that we have a sword which might do a decent amount of damage, I'm still not trusting the numbers. Let us focus on some other spells from Mahou Tsukai. I have noticed that there's a spell called Ascension, and apparently it's an elevator. And I kind of need an elevator for our altar up there. As usual, we're going to need a blood circle, 1 gold dust, and 2 ender dust. I think. So if I go up here... Oh, you will teleport me. That was fast. That's actually really good, because I was really lazy to go up there, and this is instant. Of course, this is a temporary setup, therefore the elevator is also going to be temporary. But here's the point. Sometimes you might notice that some of the spells from Mahou Tsukai are going to require a cloth. These are the cloths that you make scrolls out of them and you're going to cast them, so you just don't place them on the ground. So for instance, we did a spell of Ascension which works like an elevator, but if we want to make it into a scroll, we're going to need a cloth. And of course we're going to need our circle, gold, ender dust and ender dust. And if we right click, we will get a scroll. And this time if I use the scroll, we will be teleported to the surface. There you go. It actually does not teleport you to the surface, it teleports you to the highest block on that Y level, so in this case, it was a leaf. One thing that you might have noticed from Mahou Tsukai is that whenever you cast a spell, the scroll is gone and therefore you cannot cast the spell again unless you craft another scroll, which is a time-consuming job, but it does have a solution. There is an item called the Mystic Code and it can hold 3 stacks of scrolls, so you can make the spells in bulk and then cast it using the Mystic Code. However, there is an upgraded version which takes 3 spells but does not consume the scrolls, so you can cast them as much as you want. But there is a catch. The second tier one has a durability, but in this mod pack thankfully we can just make everything unbreakable, so making this guy makes sense. But in order to craft it, we're going to need something called Fey Essence. I have been playing a little bit with this mod off camera, so I already have the Fey Essence that we need in order to make the Mystic Code, but let us try to find some Fey together. Just remember that in order to find Fey, we're going to need the spell of the Eyes of Fey Sight, which is 3 Ender Eye and 1 Cloth. The duration of the spell of Fey Sight is incredibly short, so we're going to have a few of them. And the cool part is that it's like Botania, so if you hold an empty hand and just right click, it will copy the spell if you have the ingredients. So this is incredibly easy. We just have to take the scrolls. This mod adds a few invisible areas and mobs to the overworld, and in order to see them, we're going to need this spell. If we just right click, you can see the line. And you can see a circle. If you stand on this line, you're going to regenerate mana a little bit faster, but it's not that significant. I have tried it, it's not the best. But if you come to the circle, it's much better. But in these circles, there are also some creatures which are invisible. Like that one. Did you go away? Actually not like that one. Like that one. And that is called a Fey. It's like a wisp from Tomcraft, and if you kill it, it will drop the essence. And you can also hear the noise that they make. He dropped 3. Wow. Thank you. I think it is also possible to find the Fey on the ley lines, but I actually had more luck in the circle. Anyway, we have the Fey Essence, let us get the Mystic Code. There you go. And just before I forget, let us make it unbreakable. I think the first spell that we're going to add is going to be the Fey Sight, because we consume that a lot. Now that we know how to generate a lot of mana, how to make spells, how to make scrolls, and how to cast the spells, I have picked up a few spells from the spellbook which I thought they could be fun. The problem is, I forgot which one is which. It's fine, we're going to try this one. Oh yeah, this is the Mystic Eyes of the Black Flame. That is a Fae. Anyway, I thought the black flame is going to be interesting because it will cause a flame which will give wither. And it will spread. There you go. He's gonna die. That took a while. The second spell that I thought we were going to try is called Mental Displacement. And this one should be cool because it should let me go into spectator mode. Here is me, holding the scroll. Can I go down? Oh yeah, I can go into spectator mode. This is actually nice. It's cheating without cheating. Therefore, this is going to be incredibly useful when we want to hunt dragons. This one is called Summon Familiar. Apparently, it's a gimmicky thing which will give you updates on blocks and mobs that it will see, but it will also chunk load the area. Oh, you look cool. I like that. Do you talk? Do you do anything? Do I have to wait? Right click? Oh, I can change the color. Yeah, green is nice. I like green. This one is called Strengthening and it will give damage boost to the sword and also give me strength. Or at least I think it works like that. I don't know how to pronounce this one, apparently raw IS, and what it does is that it's going to make a barrier which will protect us from projectiles and mobs. How do you work? Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. I can pass through. And it says if you hold shift you will bounce off it. Like mobs. And obviously if you have seen any videos on this mod, there's also a staff of explosive mana condensation, which is this one. We do have the spell and I think we just have to right click, right? It will give us a staff. This one is going to cause a huge explosion, so we're going to do this far away from our base. Maybe over here is good. I think we are at a safe distance, so let's give this guy a try. Apparently we can change the mode by holding shift and right clicking. AoE, beam, and big explosion. Oh, it's nice. If you hold right click, it will charge up. There will be thunderstorms, it's going to rain or snow, and if we let it go, what will happen? Okay, it will kill all the mobs, but it did not break anything. Maybe in the new version of Minecraft it does not do that. This one is the AoE, and it's supposed to fire those projectiles. And that zombie is the target. They didn't take any damage. It is what it is. Let us just try the beam mode and see maybe this one does something different. I think I'm out of mana. Yes. I'm very sad that it does not break any blocks, cause killing mobs is not an issue. What is this? Oh, you get it from a sheep. The visual effects of the staff were incredibly cool, but it's not very useful. It's fine, I'm not complaining about the mod because I did manage to get a decent sword and we have a decent expansion to our base. We should not forget that we also have fun spells to play with. The system of generating mana using durability is good to get us started with, but unfortunately it's not enough. So I think next episode we have to get into the boundary of drain life, which is essentially equivalent to the well of suffering from blood magic, meaning that I can have mobs and make them suffer. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, the Morgan sword has a secondary attack, so if you hold right click, you can see that orb which is charging up. And if you let it go, see what happens. Everyone dies. Of course I cannot use it at all times because it has a cooldown. Anyhow, if you guys remember, last episode we did manage to make 10 heart containers from Cyclic, which gave us 10 extra hearts. I was reading through the comments and someone was suggesting that maybe we should try and get some vitality enchantments from Apotheosis. I don't know if it's a thing. Yes, vitality is a thing. Oh, I was thinking it's from Apotheosis, but it's not. Okay, let's try to get it. I think Aldemodium has a high enchantability, so let us try it with that. We need a lot of experience. Don't you worry, we have 300 levels of experience in our coin. Mana boost, soulbound, protection, unbreaking, rebounding. Feather falling 7, reach 7. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or I'm just being unlucky, but so far, no. Yes, vitality 5. Then I was not doing something wrong, I was just unlucky. And for some very weird reason we can enchant the mecha suit. Didn't look like something that you can enchant, but I'm not complaining. Do we have more hearts? Oh yeah, purple. Vitality 6. This was 5. One thing that I had no idea is that vitality only goes on the chest plate, so that's it. And we already have pink hearts. Honestly speaking, I have no idea which one to choose. My sanity, because I cannot enchant my leggings and my helmet, or the extra hearts. And I think I'm going to choose my sanity because my OCD was going nuts. Yes, this is much better. For me it's very confusing because it is telling me that I can put enchantments on my helmet, but in practice I cannot apply any enchantments, so yeah. Oh, and by the way, I do have a question from you guys. Do you hear this humming noise when I'm flying with the mecha suit? It's from the gravitational module and it gives me the ability to fly. I cannot muffle it for some reason and I just wanted to know, does this bother you? Because if it does, I can get an angel ring. Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.